reconciling other accounts such as accounts receivable or accounts payable, reconciling disbursements and deposits through those different accounts. If you look in your text, Exhibit 6.3 talks about tests and controls for cash receipts. When you want to make sure that cash receipts are deposited intact daily. So an auditor might test that control by observing the process. So when checks come, if companies, if the policy is that checks mail is opened at the beginning of the day, an auditor wants to observe that that's being done, observe that 2 employees are involved in, and they would surprise them, right? You don't want to announce to the client, oh, I'm going to observe your process today. You want to just show up, right? Why do you think that is? Why does it matter? John?
If they know that you're going to be there, they're going to make sure they do it.
Right, they're on their best behavior, right? If they know that you're going to do it, if you announce to them that, oh, I'm going to come in today and look at you, then of course they're going to be there, they're going to do what they want to do, right? They're going to do everything by the book. When I was an auditor, one of the things I hated was auditing banks, cash counts. And we just would show up at the bank and, a branch and said, oh, we're here to count cash. And we had to surprise them. Right? We couldn't, the only very senior level, because you can't just show up at, Bank of America and just say, I'm going to count the cash. Somebody in the organization, senior, has to know that the auditors are going to come in, right? So, you just show up and count cash, because then you're catching people off guard, right? And the same as an auditor, even if you did this once, you want to even surprise them again and do it, because once you've done it, then like, okay, the cash counters, they've observed it. You're doing something wrong, you can go back to doing it. But if the auditors are there and then they just show up again, you catch them off guard. You want to create some element of surprise or uncertainty. You don't want the client to know every single thing you're doing every time, right? Because in that way they know your audit approach. You want to also make sure that a listing of all checks is being prepared and then compared to the total deposit ticket for the total checks. Again, this is reconciling, right? Making sure, and it's documentation. The client should be documenting cash receipts or cash disbursements, tracing the deposit ticket to the bank, and then for a sample, they want to also look at controls that ensure that deposits are reconciled to the accounts receivable subledger. So they could take a sample of the daily postings and reconcile that or tie that back to the accounts receivable subledger, and that would be completeness. So occurrence deals with that, right? So if you have 2 employees opening the mail and it's you're looking to see that it's a valid cash receipt, that it actually occurred. Looking at comparing the checks to the